Well, this is going to be an adventure. Hello, everyone. Santier here. I am joined by my sister, so I may also get called Ben a lot.
Hello.
My sister's Jennifer, so you'll probably hear her name too. So, as you might notice, this is Ocarina of Time. There's a story here, and it's going to be a little bit of a walk. So we had this idea that we got to replay a bunch of the Legend of Zelda games that are on slightly older systems, because we have a device that can capture composite video, I think it is. You know, where you have the white, red, and yellow three-pronged things that you used to plug into the CRTs. And so it was like, this is a good opportunity to go ahead and do that, so we're going to do that. So I busted out my N64, I busted out my Ocarina of Time cart, and it kept crashing. We tested some Majora's Mask, so we're planning on doing that later. The plan, so people know, is to just do a test of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, see what people think, and see what we think of the process, and hopefully get on to Wind Waker and the original Skyward Sword at some point. And Twilight Princess, the one I always forget.
I always forget the plot, but I remember it exists.
I mean, Midna is cool. So, anyway, we're here on... This is on my Wii, but it's the GameCube version that came with the bonus disc with, as you can see, Master Quest over here. Because my N64 version kept crashing. I don't think it's the N64. I think it's the cart, because Majora's Mask seems to be going okay. That's the story. I had to friggin' keep running up and down the stairs to grab first a Wiimote so I could get into this menu properly, and then grab the sensor bar so that way I could point the Wiimote to select the GameCube.
He had to hit one button.
I had to change batteries to hit one button. So we're here. I have a GameCube controller that has seen better days, but it's fine. All of my controllers have seen better days, I'm sure. We're going to sit on the title screen for a moment because it is very nostalgic, and then we will come back more. These are going to be several different episodes. I'm looking to try to do like spiritual stones and medallions per episode, but we'll see as we go. Okay, so title screen enjoyment time. Confirm, please. Yes, I would like the rumble feature. Now it needs to read the disc. By the way, the rumble feature rumbles the GameCube controller. I don't know where my rumble packs are, so that's good. It's so nostalgic.
It is. It's really pastoral and peaceful to me. I've always liked it.
Yeah.
It's a really nice opening. And I noticed when you put in the game, the Nintendo 64, and I think also in this one, the colors are more saturated than I remember.
Yeah. One thing that you all will be happy about the fact that we're playing this version is the text is more legible.
That'll be fun when we get to Majora's Mask, because it will be illegible.
Yeah. The video quality is limited by our capture device and also the original hardware.
Mm-hmm.
This is where it's going to go, and we're going to...
Yeah, scenes from the game. We don't need to see that.
Yeah.
Spoilers! That'll be a while from now.
All right. So I have a couple files here already. We're just going to go to file 3. Oh, I also already went into the options, and I need to
you need to redo it.
I need to do it
Ooh,
here.
good thing you checked.
It turns out the default is Switch, which is not the default on the N64, and I figured this out during testing. Switch is very annoying, and I'm glad I double-checked it. I don't like Switch.
Now, you told me before we started recording that you can have 2 files with the same name. You don't have a name right now. What happened? Did you start a new one?
What? Okay, now this is where I think... Is this...
What's happening?
We'll be right back.
This is very exciting. This can be a blooper, right? No, you don't want to have my voice.
This is a bad blooper.
You don't want my voice talking. I make a wonderful blooper, Ben. I'm the best blooper ever and ever.
Okay.
Oh, was that someone's name? The dashes?
I think somebody named themselves 8 dashes.
Oh, wow. We need to discuss this.
I was trolled.
You were so trolled. You need to include this part now, Ben.
Apparently, this is now just not getting cut. Maybe I'll cut a little bit of it.
Oh my goodness. So, apparently that was not an empty file. It
Nope.
was someone with a really bad name.
It was these. It was just 8 of these.
That's horrible. Now, how do the people pronounce that name? Anyway, as I was about to say before that happened, my impression always when we were kids was that you could not have 2 files with the same name, which is why the middle one there's a link with a C. But Ben told me a few minutes before we started recording that you can.
I think we might have been idiots when we were kids.
We were making false assumptions. All right. This for real this time.
For realsies.
In the vast, deep forest of Hyrule, long have I served as the guardian spirit. I am known as the Deku Tree.
Being accessibility features here.
The children of the forest, the Kokiri, live here with me. Each Kokiri has his or her own guardian fairy. However, there is one boy who does not have a fairy.
It's as dark on our end as it is on yours.
It's really dark. Ooh, it's rumbling. The controller.
Yeah, I put the controller on her leg so she could feel it rumble. It's very dramatic.
All these fun angles they're doing with the camera.
I do have rumble packs for the N64 somewhere. I just don't know where they are.
Navi, Navi, where art thou? Come hither. So are they doing that to be fancy and old-fashioned, or because he's being informal?
I believe fancy and old-fashioned.
Oh, Navi the fairy, listen to my words, the words of the Deku Tree.
So I think those things were originally blue, like arrows.
They
and
were.
stuff.
I can tell you, they were originally blue.
They've been recolored because it turns out they decided to make the A button a green color on the GameCube, whereas on the N64 it was blue. I can tell because I can see an N64 controller right now.
Also, didn't this controller have something like originally built-in rumble pack or something weird?
No, it had. This is. So she brought out my SharkPad Pro 64 Squared Interact, which is transparent and has auto button features.
I just remembered it had some kind of special thing. It wasn't a rumble pack. Okay.
It is a cheaty pad.
Okay. So
that lets you button mash by holding the button.
Why didn't we? I was gonna say, why didn't we use that in Star Fox? But
because
it was
that was
wrong.
for the GameCube.
I was about to realize that.
Star Fox Dinosaur Planet.
Okay, I probably should continue this cutscene.
Probably.
Dost thou sense it? The climate of evil descending upon this realm. Malevolent forces even now are mustering to attack our land of Hyrule. For so long, the Kokiri Forest, the source of life, has stood as a barrier, deterring outsiders and maintaining the order of the world. But before this tremendous evil power, even my power is as nothing. It seems the time has come for the boy without a fairy to begin his journey.
I love the song coming up.
The youth whose destiny it is to lead Hyrule to the path of justice and truth. And the American way. Navi, go now. Find our young friend and guide him to me. This is a fun song, you're right. I do not have much time left. Fly, Navi, fly. The fate of the Force, nay, the world, depends upon thee.
You need to speak like Greybeard.
Cue the song.
Talking in. Yep.
That would be really tiring.
It would be.
I like the first-person camera here.
Yeah.
Is this guy supposed to be yellow?
The colors are wonky.
I don't remember it being yellow.
I may attempt to adjust the colors in post. We'll see.
Well, for me, the sky is yellow.
I mean, yes, it's a foggy
Morning. time?
Yeah. I'm just making sure Audacity is continuing to record.
That's always a good thing to check. That's especially fun with the first person. Yeah. It really adds to the liveliness having it be the first person. Okay. And now the house song. Much less exciting. Oh, I can see him this time. So earlier this was super duper dark, and now it's actually visible.
I think it was for the cutscene text.
Hello, Link! Wake up! The Great Deku Tree wants to talk to you. Link, get up!
Link is channeling me right now.
Hey, come on! Can Hyrule's destiny really depend on such a lazy boy?
See, this is an interesting trope where they talk about people who are tired and sleep in as lazy when maybe they just have a very different sleep schedule.
Maybe he stayed up playing video games last night.
Says the person who goes to bed at 4 a.m. and wakes up at noon, or in the case of today, after 1 p.m.
I noticed. You finally woke up. I'm Navi the fairy.
Our navigator.
I was called her Nava, I think when we were kids, right?
I don't remember.
I don't either. The Great Deku Tree asked me to be your partner from now on. Nice to meet you. The Great Deku Tree has summoned you, so let's get going right now. And he will never sit again.
It's true. So, here's another cutscene. Kokiri no Mori, as it says in the Japanese all the time. I've watched a lot of speedruns and other things that use the Japanese version.
I loved that her fairy was red, because the healing fairies are red. And so I always thought that she had a healing fairy because she's such a great person. Yahoo! Hi, Link!
Ladders are for lame people who don't backflip.
Wow, a fairy! Finally, a fairy came to you, Link! Wow, that's great news! I'm so happy for you! Now you're a true Kokiri, Link! Is that right? The Great Deku Tree has summoned you? It's quite an honor to talk to the Great Deku Tree. I'll wait for you here. Get going! Go see the Great Deku Tree!
So I should actually mention, while it's come to my mind while we look at the lovely carving in the base of Link's house. Oh my goodness, I'm going to get thrown off by this until I get used to it. I want to invert the up-down axis, and I cannot, and it is going to drive me crazy. I'm not planning on going for 100% with this playthrough. There are just certain things I don't want to do. I don't want to do Big Pose. I don't want to do Ocarina game. I don't want to do... what's another really obnoxious...
Fishing hole.
Yeah, I don't want to do fishing. So there's just a number of things.
Racing Dampe.
Racing Dampe is not bad.
Oh, okay. Was it that was the one you didn't do as a kid?
That was the one I was terrible player as a kid, and I couldn't beat that one.
But you also only had 87 Skulltulas.
Yes.
So.
I'm also probably not going to go for all of the Skulltulas.
Side note, the image of Link and the dinosaur, or whatever that is there, reminds me a lot of Majora's Mask, which I am much more familiar with in this game, because it's my favorite of the Zeldas. And they've got the Skull Kid doing all the artwork, so it really makes me think of that. And wow, this is so saturated.
Yeah.
Like the yellow buttons over there are orange.
House of the Great Mido, boss of the Kokiri.
She's saying hey. I heard her say hey.
Yep. Yeah, Navi wants to tell us.
The Great Deku Tree has summoned you. Please come with me. Oh, that's I thought it was the girl. It's Navi. I did the wrong voice. Oh, wow. Oh, a fairy finally came to you. Now you have a lot to learn. The best place to go to learn some new skills is in the Forest Training Center. It's on the hill just above here.
Oh, my goodness. I don't think I've ever talked to that person, ever.
This is the Forest Training Center. Don't recklessly cut signs. Read them carefully. Don't break me, is I think what that sign is trying to say.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you can that one.
This is the directions of how to play the game.
Okay, well, we're not going to read all of the directions on how to play the game.
In case you did not read the very thorough manual that came with the game.
It's true. Or the remake of the manual that came with this game.
Yeah, there was a really thick manual. I'm not sure if it was for this game or for Super Smash Bros. That you were looking at that had the really thick manual.
Both.
Both had thick manuals. So I noticed that you were playing this as someone who knows what you're doing and not as a... to get the proper story, because you're not going to Mido first, have him tell you to do this.
I won't buy the shield right away.
Oh, okay.
But I was already over here, so I figured I'm gonna grab our Kokiri sword.
That felt way simpler than I remember it. Like, you already knew how to dodge the rock, so you had zero issues with any of this.
So my first experience with the game was borrowing it from a friend for the N64. And yes, this is the hidden treasure of the Kokiri, by the way.
Oh, yes. I guess I should read this.
But you can borrow it for a while. Be sure to practice with it before you really fight. Be sure to equip it before you really fight.
That's a really good idea.
You know what? It throws me off to hit the B button to save. Oh, by the way, we're saving to the memory card because this is the GameCube version. So anyway, it was borrowing it from a friend, and I got completely lost in the water temple, and eventually just gave it back. I believe that was Patrick.
Oh, our neighbor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I believe. I'm not positive on that. But it's interesting. Growing up, I was way more into Majora's Mask and Wind Waker than I was Ocarina of Time. I didn't really appreciate it for the sort of like... that's the
rock.
Camera move that you can glitch out to...
I thought you were looking at the rock guy.
Stale reference manipulation.
The guy that picks up rocks.
Yes.
I remember him. In contrast to Ben here, he has been watching a lot of... randomizers of this game. Oh, there's the rock person, right. And I have not properly seen this game played in 15, 20 years. A really long time. So I feel like I remember it surprisingly well considering that. But yeah, I am definitely not anywhere near as familiar with it as he is. So this is going to be fun to kind of revisit it and see it again. I'm definitely more familiar with Majora's Mask because, as I said, that one is my favorite.
Which is the...
You have to jump... I guess you did the jumping across thing.
No, there's another one.
That gives you money.
I think?
I remember there's at least one, but you did the platforms that give you money, right? Right here?
Yeah, I just did that one.
How much does the shield cost?
40.
40, okay. 40. I must have dollars instead of rupees. That would be pretty amazing.
So there's a thing in the randomizer community of calling them bloopies if they're blue rupees because it's like a common filler. That meaning Mido made me cut the grass at Saria's house. Mido told Saria he would do it, so she would like him, but I'm the one doing all the work. You and Saria are close friends, so will you help me cut the grass? I'll let you keep anything that you find while cutting it. That he talked to Saria when I was expecting.
I was having the same problem where I was like, I need to make sure I don't like run out of words to say.
Hi, I have a C stick. It controls my C buttons. I want to use it for the camera.
Oh no.
No.
I am so sorry.
Help, my coordination is awful. Let's go rob Mido.
Okay.
This is going to be an adventure, everyone.
Yeah. Do you think it would be easier or worse to control if you were actually using the N64 controller instead of the GameCube controller?
I legitimately do not know.
Because
it would probably be better on the N64 controller because at least I'm not going to be confused about what buttons do what.
Yeah, you'd have like the muscle memory from 20 years ago when you were playing this originally. So I'm guessing that what you've been doing, because like I said, you've been watching a lot of randomizers of this game.
Yes.
But you haven't been really playing it yourself for a long time, right?
That is, well, and the times that I was not expecting a recovery heart there. The times that I've played this most recently have been the 3DS remake, which controls differently because it's on the 3DS.
That would be pretty different.
I also have not handled a GameCube controller in literal years.
Oh, now I remember that nostalgic story about when you first handled one.
Yes. Yeah, when I first got a GameCube, I didn't have any games for it yet. I was waiting for Smash Bros. Melee, like a lot of people were. Okay, let's see if I can coordinate better here. I remember just holding the controller as... I remember where I was sitting and everything. I don't need to try to relay that to y'all because you're not going to know what I'm talking about. But it was a... magical experience holding the controller.
She is a blue or green. I know colors. You came all the way up here? You're a real man. Compared to whom, Mido?
I don't know.
Look! Isn't this view pretty? Change your viewpoint with the up button. I don't want to say all the button names. So you can look around the forest with the control stick.
Talking to her knocked me off the platform.
I noticed.
Ah. Okay, so... this is what the Great Deku Tree is supposed to look like. Apparently on the Switch version, you can just see it.
There's no mist.
There's no fog.
There's no yellow fog. Don't forget the yellowness.
Okay, let's go talk to Mido and have him berate us about our lack of...
Do you think since you went into a building and came
shield.
back out again, you can get rupees from crossing the river again? Hey, you, Mr. No Fairy, what's your business with the Great Deku Tree? Without a fairy, you're not even a real man. Oh, we just had the same real man thing.
What's with this man card shaming going on? This is very strange.
They're not even men, they're Kokiri.
I know, right? Like, they're all kids. Like, what?
This is very... I wonder what the Japanese says.
I don't know.
I don't remember this at all. Maybe
I've always kind of assumed that they were, like, effectively stuck as kids forever. But,
maybe it's more like Interview with the Vampire, where the little girl, like, is an adult in mind, but is in body a kid.
or maybe...
I have never read that book, FYI.
So I've been watching...
Or watched the movie.
A playthrough of Final Fantasy XIV, and they have the Lalafell in that are adults but look like kids. Maybe that's... I don't know what's going on here.
What? You've got a fairy? Say what? The Great Deku Tree actually summoned you? What? Why would he summon you and not the Great Mido? This isn't funny. Tapping his foot. I like that detail.
Yep.
I don't believe it. You aren't even fully equipped yet. How do you think you're going to help the Great Deku Tree without both a sword and shield ready? What? You're right. I don't have my equipment ready, but if you want to pass through here, you should at least equip a sword and shield. Sheesh. One thing I will say, the text is showing up much slower than I expected, which means I have to slow down when I'm talking. Hi, Link. Look this way.
You're very loud in my ear.
Look over here with L and talk to me with A.
We have one microphone that we're both using. And you can see how loud you are in the waveform right there.
Oh, that was really loud.
Yes, my ear can confirm.
I'm sorry. Yes, that's how you use a fairy to Z-target, which was a really big innovation in this game.
It's true. Like, it's really easy to forget, but, like, Ocarina of Time was one of the first games in this mode.
3D.
Yeah, like a 3D action fighty game. Like, you can directly trace to, like, Dark Souls and stuff with the DNA of, like, the way this game works to, like, the lock-on mechanics that you find in, like, Dark Souls and stuff, so.
It's so great that you finally have a fairy partner. I'll teach you how to talk to people using your fairy. Do I have to read all of this out loud?
Do you want to?
Well, I just mean it's not real dialogue. When a fairy flies near a person or thing, press L, or Z in the original, to look in that direction. If you use Z targeting, you can talk to people from a distance, like we're doing now. I'm not talking to you from a distance, Ben, I'm sorry.
You are not.
When you have nothing that you can target, you can press Z just to look forward. Try it. There's no reason not to say L, but it's just so stuck in my mind as Z targeting, it's weird to say L. I was in the middle... Ooh, that was convenient. I was in the middle of saying something. Okay, more dialogue. This shop, it sells things you can get in the forest for free. Teehee.
They just straight up tell you that buying things is a waste of rupees. Cool.
Apparently. Well, I don't think the shield is for free in the forest. Do you know how to use the Deku Shield? When you get the shield, press start to get into the subscreens. I wonder what, like, I'm just trying to picture this in real world as, like, the thing that she is saying. And it's really funny.
When you get the shield, you have to pull it out of your magic storage spot and stick it on your arm.
Apparently, teehee. Welcome to... He's so cute being short like that and
Yeah.
Jumping.
Yeah, you can get a lot of these
But
things.
as I was in the middle of saying that we had more dialogue showing up to teach us how to L target, I have problems reading too fast and transposing words, etc. So the fact that they're talking so slowly, where I'm afraid I'm going to run out of sentence, is actually maybe helpful to make me not talk too quickly.
Talk to the owner.
We sell shields, but not swords.
Edifying.
Cool. Thank you.
I like that they sell arrows here.
That's really useful. Can you even buy arrows when you don't have a quiver or anything?
I don't have the money, but I wouldn't object to trying.
It would be...
Find out.
Thank you for remembering to save. It would be hilarious or fascinating, I don't know which word to use here, to see if you can buy arrows when you don't even have a bow or a quiver or anything. That would be interesting to know. Like, what would it do with those items if you don't have the stuff?
I mean, there's no reason to buy them, but...
Yeah. If you want to see the Great Deku Tree, you should at least equip a sword and shield. Huh? What's that? Oh, you have a Deku shield. And what's that? Is that the Kokiri sword? Good grief.
Just makes me think of Charlie Brown.
I was gonna say the same thing. Well, even with all that stuff, a wimp is still a wimp, huh? Not a real man. I, the great Mido, will never accept you as one of us.
Good news, I'm not.
Shoot, how did you get to be the favorite of Saria, whatever her name is, and the Great Deku Tree, huh? Grumble, grumble. It literally
So
says
we're
grumble,
going to have a couple of how to pronounce this word, because we had ways that we pronounced them as kids that kind of got ingrained in our brains, and then we learned how Japanese is pronounced, and that confuses everything. And like, is it scotula, scoltula?
I have gotten Gerudo instead of Gerudo in my head pretty well at this point. But I always want to say Soraya instead of Saria. Mm-hmm. So that's just my default. We'll see which one I end up going with.
Is it Mido or Mido?
I know, because Japanese would be Mido, but you said Mido, so I followed your lead, and I always have called it that
the data rule.
Yeah, who says it first? Who's how to pronounce it?
Yep.
It wasn't just Data. Certainly that Data versus Data. This is Star Trek. But I think the entire thing in Next Generation was whoever said the alien's name first got to choose how it was pronounced.
You don't need to tell us about Deku Sticks.
But Ben, on the select item subscreen, you can set it to that button, or that button.
See left, right, or down?
Yes, very fast.
Wait, did it tell us you right, left, or down, or did it just say CCC?
It had the arrows the first time, but then the second time it just said C without any explanation, which I thought was really weird.
Alternatively...
Now, as a kid, you thought Deku Nuts were worthless, but now you think they're useful.
Deku
right?
Nuts are the most broken item in the game.
Not that you got any there. You got sticks.
They're one of the more powerful ones. Bombs are extremely powerful, actually, and bottles are literally broken. But...
Literally. You're carrying a broken bottle around so you can slash people with it as a weapon. Is that what you're telling me?
No, I mean, you can use it to play your sword as an ocarina.
Your sword?
Or reverse bottle adventures in order to just, like, glitch yourself all sorts of items.
Wow.
Bottles are literally broken. They literally break the game.
I was trying to use broken, like, as a joke of in-world a broken bottle, but that is... Wow. How on earth is using a bottle let you use your sword? Like, the levels you have to go to. It just...
So... What it has something to do with, like, resetting your animations and putting you in a default animation that allows you to be able to... It's called Ocarina Items.
I'm just picturing Link holding a sword to his mouth like a harmonica.
Yes, that's what happens.
He can hold his sword like that?
it holds his sword and he blows into the handle. There's an ocarina built into his handle. You just have to know how to get to it.
Wow. So we have the fairy ocarina, right? The brown one we're going to get in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got the Ocarina of Time, and then you have the Ocarina of Swords.
The sword Karina.
Sword Karina. Okay. Great Deku Tree, I'm back.
I'm not going to show you the sword Karina. I don't know how to do the glitch.
Okay. If you could just do it randomly, it would be way too easy and I'd be terrified. Oh, Navi, thou hast returned.
Why not returnist?
Hast is the one that's got the...
I know.
So hast is the one that's conjugated. Link, welcome. The other one's a past participle, Ben. Listen carefully to what I, the Great Deku Tree, am about to tell thee.
I have bad news. He's not great in this sentence.
Oh no! I added a word! I told you I would do that.
I'm going to tease you about it too.
At least I said I peppermint hamburger.
It's true. That is an inside joke that we're just not going to explain.
Maybe later. Thy slumber... Oh, did it? Okay, keep going. Sorry, the laptop...
We're recording audio too. Decided it didn't need to keep its screen on anymore.
And I thought maybe that meant I stopped recording. Anyway... Thy slumber these past moons must have been restless and full of nightmares. As the servants of evil gain strength, a vile climate pervades the land and causes nightmares to those sensitive to it. I just found it interesting. I noticed this in the beginning dialogue. Using the word climate here is interesting to me. Because it's not the word I would have gone for. So it's just like, I don't know if it feels more... I don't know, like permanent or widespread or I don't know. It's an odd word choice to me. climate. Like, I don't know, like a vile...
Well, and what's interesting about that actually is, as a tree, he would be very in tune with like the natural climate.
That's a thought.
But I'm wondering, as like a spiritual, like he's a genius loci or something like that?
Green?
It depends upon the game.
I've seen him with flowers.
A lot of like, is everything technically working okay talk, because we don't know, and we want to make sure it does.
This is an experiment.
But he, like, as a spiritual entity, might also be in tune with a spiritual climate that he's feeling, similar to a natural like weather climate.
Like, it started snowing, and it shouldn't be snowing. Evil is here. It's vile.
Yeah.
Vile snow.
So it's kind of interesting to think about, like, what is the true nature of the Deku Tree. But anyway.
I like his mustache and eyebrows. They match. Verily, thou hast felt it. See, Ben, felt also is not conjugated because it's hast. Link, the time has come to test thy courage. I have been cursed. I need you? I need thee? Which are they going for? I need thee to break the curse with thy wisdom and courage. Ooh, we're getting words referring to the Triforce here, Ben.
We are.
But not power. Okay. One slide is the formal you, formal second person, and all the other ones are informal with thou. I do not know what happened on that one slide. Anyway, dost thou have courage enough to undertake this task?
Yes.
If you said no, what happens?
I don't want to listen to it again.
Oh, you have to listen to the whole thing again?
I assume.
Then enter, brave Link, and thou too, Navi. Navi the fairy, thou must aid Link. And Link, when Navi speaks, use the up arrow button to listen well to her words of wisdom.
Hey, listen!
Listen.
Okay, so my plan for today is to beat this and get a certain Kokiri Emerald and wrap up for this episode. So we'll see how things go.
It's already been 32 minutes? Is that true?
Yes, we have been slow.
Though we might cut part of that out from when it, like, had the dash file instead of the empty vial that tricked us. I almost thought for a moment I saw Tingle. I know he's not in this game, but I thought I saw a red shape up above, and I was like, is that Tingle's balloon? Which would make no sense. Wow, what did I see? Was it my eyes playing tricks, or was there something red up there? Also, you got your Deku nuts that you love so much.
Maybe you saw the sword icon that's in red.
I don't know. You'll have to look up and see if there was something.
Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and look at this lovely saving. Do not touch the memory card or the power button message. This is like so hacked into this.
I seriously want to see if something red is up there. Maybe it's like tissue.
Ah!
It was. I bet it was the red heart. I saw something red up there. It was like, it's Tingle's balloon. Look at this wall. I almost said these walls. The vines growing on it give it a rough surface. Maybe you can climb it, Link.
You know, I forgot that these were in here because it turns out all of the randomizer hacks take them out because they're annoying.
I mean, if you don't know how to play the game, it really is just a time waster. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sure it's useful the first time you play
Oh,
this.
yeah, no, it's a great, like, bit of tutorial information, and it absolutely belongs there. It's just also, if you know how to play the game, you do not need it at all.
It's tedium,
yeah. This, I believe, is the map?
Oh, I couldn't even see that. It was so dark.
Yeah, the brightness could be better. There might be a way that I can adjust things in the settings, but I don't know, so we're just going to deal with it.
Woohoo! You have a map.
Yes, blue chambers are places I've already visited, and ones that are less blue.
Your map has a legend, and we're reading it out loud to you.
Yeah, so, like, everybody knows this map, right? And you know...
You took the long way around.
I did take the long way around. So this, you can see that they're not filled in if I haven't been there. Okay.
I like that the room you're in is lit up, because then it makes it clear that this is like a big room that takes the whole length of the height, I guess, would be better than length.
By the way, I am now being told how to use doors.
Okay, that feels a little over much. I can see being like, by the way, you can climb this wall.
To be fair, if you've never played a video game before, you might not know how to open a door, and we hadn't had any prior, so it's actually a good thing that they're teaching you this is silly as this seems.
I guess, but like there is the button that says open when you approach a door. You think
true.
that might give things away, but maybe you don't look there or something.
You know what? This is one of those things where...
And it is for kids,
it's
so...
way better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
And this was like the first experience of
Ow,
this.
ow, ow! Forgive me, master. If I give you a clue, will you let me go?
Ready for an iconic phrase?
When you jump off a high cliff, if you hold the control stick forward, you will roll on the ground when you land. It won't get hurt from the fall. Very iconic, Ben.
In my defense, I forget which these guys say. One of them is the one that gives you the clue about 23 is number 1.
This is not the...
Apparently,
I knew that's what you were going for, and then he did not say that.
He did not.
I can't guarantee it will work, though, if the cliff is really, really high.
That's true.
Well, try it if you're feeling bold. Is that crying or laughing at the end?
I don't know.
I don't either.
So, a couple of things. First of all, if you don't jump on that, then you can use it to get back instead of having to shoot down the thing with the slingshot.
You don't have a slingshot.
I will have a slingshot as soon as I open that chest over there. Also,
okay.
there's a chest over here.
Ooh, sneaky. I can't see it still.
I can also not see it.
You just knew it was there. That was really useful, Ben. I'm glad you found that treasure chest.
It's a lot more useful in randomizers, I can assure you.
Oh, I bet. So that explains why you know where all these treasure chests are.
Yes, because I've been watching randomizers.
I can't see it, but I know there's a treasure chest here. It blends in with the wall, but I know it's there. Or maybe the floor. But I know it's there, and you got the fairy slingshot.
I'm going to put it on Y.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. I just literally noticed. The whole time I was assuming you were using that C stick on the GameCube controller. Wow. So when they say C, what do they mean? Do they just mean one of those?
The C stick works as well.
Oh, wow. So I'm just confused about what is the C stick versus the X, Y, and Z buttons? Or whatever you're doing?
Y is C left. Both work.
Oh, wow. So it's redundant.
Z is C down. And C right is X or right. Because, like...
Yeah, they're in the right locations for it. I hadn't realized that they were usable. So, wow, that was the thing that happened. Yep. It's what instrument happens when you switch consoles.
So normally you have to shoot the thing down, but it turns out you don't need to.
Oh, yeah. Well, that makes it easier.
That's also useful to be aware of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I guess a lot of these kinds of tricks you get from the randomizers that you watch.
Yeah, or speedruns or whatever.
Yeah, well, speedruns, that would make sense.
Okay. Down to look up? Sure.
But yeah, I can see that the tutorial would be really helpful for, like, one of the first ever 3D games, right?
Yeah. Like, what experience did you have with something like this before? Like, none, right? So they needed to make sure, and I'm sure that they focus tested to see what things do we need to tutorialize, like what things are people getting. I would just drop down here, but I didn't know exactly.
I mean, even just thinking about something like if you're a Mac user versus a PC user, things that are completely intuitive, like, I don't know, Control F to search, or double click, or right click, or different things that we just kind of know this is how you do it. But then if you switch to a different system, it's completely different buttons you're having to deal with, or things. And we think of it as being intuitive because we're so used to it, but it really isn't.
No, you have to learn sometime.
Yeah.
I think this is the compass chest.
I guess we'll find out. And I have read, I don't really play video games. I just watch him play them sometimes. Or when we were kids. But I've gotten the impression from something I've read that a lot of more modern video games don't have tutorials as much. And it can be a lot higher barrier of entry for people who haven't done video games to figure out how to play more modern ones. Because they don't have all of that annoying tutorial because they kind of figure some of it. You've played this game, and so you learn the tutorial from this game, and you don't need it now in, you know, Majora's Mask, for example, because they're presuming you played this one. But, you know, in modern ones, even more so. So it's kind of an interesting thing. But that balance between...
Hi, I'm trying to look at this guy.
That balance between you need to be taught how to play this game versus if you already know this is really boring.
Yeah, depending upon how you kill them, those guys will drop Caesar sticks.
Yes, I remember that. And that's why I was commenting on the Deku nuts when you got Deku sticks that first time, because you cannot think it either. It's interesting to me, this dynamic of getting gold Skulltulas before you even know the
Yeah.
quest. Like, you haven't gotten a quest about destroying them, but you're getting the notifications and doing it and all that.
Yep.
I mean, if you didn't already, if you couldn't collect them now, it'd be super tedious because you have to go back and get them.
There's ones that I cannot get until I get the boomerang. We're not going back for them.
Okay.
Just to be clear on that.
We're lazy. We have time constraints. How's that? These guys are so annoying because you can't hit them when they're forward.
Fortunately, arrows and hook shots do not care.
Ah, that's nice.
Unfortunately, I do not have either of those. I'm going to jump down this side because it has a heart and I would like the healing. Oh, wait, never mind.
You don't want to kill him, huh?
Nah.
See, I told you this was the lazy run.
Yeah. This is...
Oh, you almost got it anyway. It wasn't quite high enough, apparently.
Hey.
Navi really wants to talk to you, though, about it. She thought that was really exciting. Now, what I want to see right now is you find a torch and get your Deku stick on fire and roll across that and see if it burns it down.
We'll do that on the next floor.
Ooh, so they do let you do that somewhere, huh?
Indeed.
Do you do the rolling to get it on the floor, though?
Yeah.
Ooh. See, I don't remember this game. I don't remember, like, the dungeons in this game, I should say.
So I think...
And I somehow got that.
If you take this ladder instead of climbing up the vines over there, then she'll give you the vine tutorial over here instead.
That'd be interesting to program. Like, you get close enough to the wall for them to decide that you should get the tutorial, or what?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Like, it's just like there's a trigger region, you step in it, and it drops you. I jumped too well, by the way, so I need to jump less well.
So, what does it mean to jump too well? Like, you went too
overshot.
far? You went too far, yeah. You overshot. Yeah, but talking about having a tutorial, even Navi is kind of emblematic of this, that, you know, the trope is how annoying she is. And holy cow, when she was saying, hey, that was really annoying. But it would be really helpful if you're trying to figure out this game to, you know, get some of those hints.
Absolutely.
And stuff.
So there's a bajillion ways to, like, skip stuff here. We ain't gonna do them. Because obviously I can't ground jump without bombs. I also do not know how to ground jump. I think it's a pretty easy trick to learn. There's, like, a spot, if you line yourself up just right here, you can, like, just jump and grab onto it.
What is ground jumping?
Ground jumping is where you shield a bomb explosion to make it so that way Link doesn't know what he's doing and he can just jump up, like,
Ben, I have to tell you something.
higher than normal.
You don't have bombs.
That's why I said I couldn't do I couldn't do ground jumps.
I thought you said you didn't know how to do it.
That's the other reason I can't do ground jumps.
I heard one reason and not the other.
There are two reasons I cannot do ground jumps. I did not realize all of these chests around here were just full of recovery
I was
hearts.
gonna say, I am amazed by how many of these chests hold hearts. I guess they don't have pots, they have chests instead. Or something.
Apparently.
I thought you were gonna get that underwater and douse it.
No.
Does that work? Can you put it underwater and douse it?
I believe. No, it doesn't get put out for going underwater, but what will happen is you go into the swimming animation and automatically put it away.
Oh, okay.
I think this is 23's number one guy.
I guess we'll find out. Please forgive me, Master. I'll never do it again. If you spare me, I'll teach you something cool. I don't think it's gonna be Ben. You will never beat my brothers. Oh, maybe it is. You're right. Oh, it is. See, he threw me off with that.
Yeah.
I'll teach you something cool. You will never beat my brothers at the head unless you punish them in the proper order. The order is 2, 3, 1. 23 is number 1.
Fun fact, this order is different in Master Quest.
Wow, that must throw Do they have a little cute mnemonic for that,
I
too?
think it's something like 31 is number 2, or whatever the actual thing is. I think they do
No,
this.
that number 1 is like a thing. You can't just change it to number 2. That doesn't work anymore.
I don't remember if it's like 32 is number 1, or it's different.
Huh.
Is the important thing. It's not 23 is number 1. It is a different order.
Do you think I'm a traitor? He didn't go mwahaha like the other one did. Or wahaha. Yes, Navi, I see you too.
Yes, Navi, I'm going to aim my cursor at the ground first because I don't know how to
be
aim
fair,
this game.
yeah. When I see an eyeball switch, I know it's an eyeball switch because That's how you dive.
That's true. Interesting things are in the water. That's actually important. There is a button. Can you... I think maybe as an adult you can backflip over this, but you might not be able...
Because you would not be hurting at all.
I mean, there's ways to glitch into the Deku Tree as an adult. Where the heck is this button? Oh, here it is.
Oh, yeah, I see it now. I call it a switch, not a button, but English words.
But this is our swimming tutorial. This game is aggressively green. I don't know why.
The colors, as I said, are very saturated, and sometimes that makes them weird.
I might try to color correct this to be less green for y'all, but it is very green for us.
Do you think that's why the sky was yellow?
I think it might be a little bit why it was so yellow, because the green seems aggressively strong.
It does. I wonder if that's the monitor or the thing that's capturing the image, or if it's the actual thing itself. Or...
Now I need to learn how to push blocks.
Yep, you stand next to it and grab hold of it.
Something else that every single friggin' randomizer does is speed up block movement.
Ah.
Because it turns out pushing blocks is slow and boring, and nobody likes it.
That sounds about right. But are you pushing blocks or pulling blocks?
In this case, I'm going to pull.
Yay, you did it. I'm used to these blocks having Majora's face on them. This one's got the... What is that symbol? It looks kind of like the emerald does, I guess.
It is just a generic symbol as far as I know.
Okay. Again, I am much more familiar with Majora's Mask. And in Majora's Mask, those blocks have the Majora's Mask symbol on them.
So there is... I think it's right here.
I wonder if that means that Majora put the blocks in those places to be annoying. That sounds about right for Majora.
Maybe. Somewhere around here, there's a wall that you have to bomb to get through, and then...
You don't have bombs.
And then use the boomerang to get a gold scatola.
You don't have a boomerang.
Sculptula? Whatever.
Sculptula. I mean, you can say it however you want to. I would say Sculptula.
I think it's the next room, though. Yeah, it's this room.
Wow, I didn't realize it was a bow stick.
So sticks are more powerful than...
The Kokiri sword?
Yes.
That's really sad.
They're as powerful as the Master Sword.
It's made out of wood. I'm really feeling bad for the Kokiri sword right now.
Yeah, so sticks, well...
Oops.
They also burn up.
It's like a baby Goma.
Yeah, it is a baby Goma.
Aww.
It's a vicious monster.
I didn't realize baby Gomas showed up before Goma.
Yes, they do.
I guess it makes sense. It's a hint of what's to come.
So this requires you to bomb it.
It looks like a bombing
So
wall.
you have to come back here with bombs.
We're not going to do that, I assume.
We are not going to do that. That is an absolute waste of everyone's time. I'm not going for 100%. But that's where you can find a gold Sculptula. Sculptula, whatever. A gold spider monster of the curse.
Sculptula. How's that? Oh, is this the one that you're going to roll and burn?
Yes.
Ha 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 ha.
What's really interesting about this is they're teaching you a lot of mechanics. They're teaching you about swimming. They're teaching you about buttons and torches and moving fire around and pushing blocks and diving and stuff. And climbing on things. This is actually a really good tutorial area for just teaching you a ton of the game's mechanics.
If it had a little less Navi being on the nose about it, I feel like in a modern game, what they would do is they would have that A button where it changes the functionality to attack and grab and maybe to some degree having that let you know you can dive because the button says it. You can open the door because it says open. And maybe using that some. Yeah,
a lot of more modern games I think would let you be there and then give you an interface to see.
Oh, Ben, is this 23's number one?
Yes, this is 23's number one time.
That should be on a t-shirt.
It might be.
Oh, I'm sure
Probably not an official t-shirt.
No, I wonder why the Deku Scrub said you have to punish them in that order.
I don't know. It's really weird, isn't it?
That's not what would come to my mind is the word to use. How did you know our secret? How irritating. It's so annoying that I'm going to reveal the secret of Queen Goma to you.
That's weird logic.
I was going to say that isn't a choice. In order to administer the coup de grace Wow, French.
We did not know how to pronounce that as kids.
The coup de grace. Oh my goodness, that's terrible. The coup de grace to Queen Goma. Strike with your sword while she's stunned. Which is like such a standard thing, but they're teaching it to you here too.
Yep.
Oh, Queenie. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you're just so annoyed you had to go and tell us that.
Rather than, I'm annoyed, so I'm going to make sure she kills you. Are there any keys in this dungeon?
Nope, no keys until you get to adult.
You're right.
There are keys in kid dungeons, but they're ones that you shouldn't be able to get to until you get to
like
adult.
The spirit temple or something?
Bottom of the well as well.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Yep. They didn't want to introduce the mechanic until later.
Well, I mean, you add things one at a time instead of overwhelming them with everything. I mean, this is the first dungeon, so they're learning all about, how do I open a door? Because Kokiri apparently don't believe in doors. Wow, that sounds like a terrible plan. I literally just now realized that Kokiri don't have any doors. I'm so sorry for them.
Oh my goodness, this is impossible. Okay.
I see her eyeball.
Did I hit her?
Did this scare you as a child?
I do not know.
Parasitic armored arachnid. So does that mean she has 8 legs? I don't feel like I'm counting 8. But also, they're very dark. And she's moving around some.
I do not know if this version has fixed the glitch or not, that with crouch stabbing.
What is the glitch with crouch stabbing?
It does not have a damage value, so it uses whatever was assigned last, or whatever you used last.
So if you do a really powerful attack, you'll do that.
Yeah, so if you do that one, then you'll stab stronger.
Well, she died quickly, so
Which is why I killed her so quickly, probably.
Oh, okay. So they didn't fix it, huh?
My guess is not. They did in the 3DS version, but I kind of doubt that they did for any of the other versions. But I don't actually know.
This song is so nostalgic.
I know. Where's my heart container? There's my heart container.
Right where she was. Make sure you grab that before you go through the...
Otherwise, you have to run all the way back here to get it.
Wow, that would be irritating.
It would be. All right, well, we're almost done. Just have to say farewell.
Almost done with the first one, not the whole
first episode of this, our trial run.
Well done, Link. But I'm still gonna die.
I called you here too late, but you know, good job.
I wonder why he waited so long. Did he not notice the climate had changed until it was too late? Wow, the word climate there was really... that he didn't notice until it was too late. Alright. Thou hast verily demonstrated thy courage. I knew that thou wouldst be able to carry out my wishes. Now, I have yet more to tell ye. Wouldst thou listen?
Yes.
If you said no, what would happen? Now, listen carefully. A wicked man of the desert cast this dreadful curse upon me.
Where does this camera move stop?
And a black screen.
We've just flown into the Great Deku Tree's mouth.
We should be seeing Goma's corpse.
I know. I don't tend to see what the but thou must negative options are.
Yeah, it'd probably just make you do it anyway.
Yes, it is a but thou must. I mean, because what otherwise are you doing? Ending the game?
I just think it's funny they gave you an option. It's so you can do the refusing the quest thing. This evil man ceaselessly uses his vile sorceress powers in his search for the sacred realm that is connected to Hyrule. For it is in that sacred realm that one will find the divine relic, the Triforce, which contains the essence of the gods. Or the goddesses, surely? No?
I mean, they're using the gender-neutral gods.
Okay, I'll accept that. Before time began, before spirits and life existed, 3 golden goddesses descended upon the chaos that was Hyrule. Din, the goddess of power. Nehru, the goddess of wisdom. Furore, the goddess of courage. Furore. It's so hard to pronounce in English. It sounds weird.
Furore? Farore?
Furore. Furore. I like this song. I check it this series.
I still want to know where Hylia fits into everything.
They don't really mention her until later games, do they?
Also, this is like straight out of Star Fox.
Din. With her strong flaming arms, she cultivated the land and created the red earth. She looked more pinky or purple to me, though. Nehru poured her wisdom onto the earth and gave the spirit of law to the world. Furore, with her rich soul, produced all life forms who would uphold the law.
I wonder what the law there is in Japanese.
Dunno. The three great goddesses, their labors completed, departed for the heavens, and golden sacred triangles remained at the point. I missed the line. Since then, the sacred triangles have become the basis of our world's performance. How did you just say?
Providence, I believe.
And the resting place of the triangles
Has become the sacred realm.
I'm sorry, just triangles sounds so stupid.
Triangles is not a dramatic word.
Wow. Thou must never allow the desert man in black armor to lay his hands on the sacred triforce. Triangles. Thou must never suffer that man with his evil heart to enter the sacred realm of legend. That evil man who cast the death curse upon me and sapped my power. Because of that curse, my end is nigh. Though through, though or through? Okay, it's gonna be though. Sorry, first it's obviously says though, but before I saw the rest of the sentence, I thought it was supposed to be through your valiant efforts, and then it said to. I was like, oh.
I have good news. I don't think they have typos in this.
Good. Though your valiant efforts to break the curse were successful, I was doomed before you started. Yes. Wait, he said you, didn't he? He switched. He keeps on going back and forth. Anyway, yes, I will pass away soon, but do not grieve for me.
I suspect it's a very old formal version of Japanese.
And that's why they were using...
And they're trying to, like, capture that.
You know what? I bet maybe he was talking to Link and Navi both, and so it's plural, in which case you is going to be correct.
That could be.
That will make me feel better. Now I want to go back and rewatch the whole thing and see if when he says you, he's
good
talking
news!
to both of them.
We've made a recording.
Yay! I can go back. Did I read all of the words that he said there?
I think so.
I have been able to tell you, see it's both of them, of these important matters. This is Hyrule's final hope. Link, go now to Hyrule Castle. There, thou wilt surely meet the Princess of Destiny. Take this stone with you. Go. So do you switch from just Link? I want to go to Link and Navi.
You know what? You can think about this later.
The stone that man wanted so much that he cast the curse on me.
I like how Link was like sitting down after listening to all of that story.
It must have been really
and just now got back up.
That was cute. It's like how Mario falls asleep in Super Mario 64 if you don't touch the controller. So pretty.
Yeah.
It's very see-through. You got the Kokiri Emerald. This is the spiritual stone of the forest, now entrusted to you by the Great Deku Tree. It's got great, Ben. I didn't mess up.
It did this time, yeah. And what's interesting to me about this is I don't think they're doing backface callings, which is where you hide the things that are facing away from the camera. You don't render them, at least on the transparent parts. So we're seeing the back side of the emerald through the front side of the emerald, which is part of what's giving it such an intricate appearance, I think.
Because it's got that swirly bit that's sticking out, and you can see it when it's backwards. Like right there, you can see it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, I need to demonstrate with my hands. Sorry, everyone. Like, so normally, if you have, like, a solid object, if this side is not facing the camera, you just don't draw it. But I think with the transparency, they're drawing both. They're drawing the front and the back of the emerald, and I think that's. And I was seeing this with Heart Container as well. I think that's why it's such a complicated appearance, because like you can see like that's really visually busy in the emerald itself.
Yeah.
And I think what's happening is we're seeing both the front and the back.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like...
So not just that you're seeing the gold part when it's backwards there,
right.
but you're seeing all of the other, like the things on the surface of the emerald, the green
remember,
bits.
the emerald is not a solid object. It's just a bunch of planes arranged to look in a specific shape. And our brains interpret that as, oh, that's a solid object. But it's not. It's effectively hollow. So you're kind of like seeing... I'm
trying to picture this as a hollow emerald, which is like a layer of emerald.
Yeah,
wow.
It's kind of like a thing of like stained glass, like green glass, like that's been blown into that shape.
Yeah.
And so you're seeing the front of the glass as well as the back of the glass. Which in a lot of times you don't draw the back of the glass because you can't see it and that wastes resources, like it wastes time.
Yeah.
So it's just, I think that's why it's such a complicated, intricate looking thing.
It is
what I'm thinking about. And I was noticing that with the heart container
as well.
It's
very shiny.
Yeah.
The future depends upon thee, Link. Thou art courageous. Navi the fairy, help Link to carry out my will. I entreat ye, Navi. Goodbye.
Now, I remember some story about Link's mother taking him to the forest.
Do you think Kapora Gabora tells him that or something?
I don't know where that's from.
Or Zelda? Because I was thinking about that too. Actually, when he was saying that man who did this thing, I thought he was going to say, also killed your mother or something like that. I mean, didn't kill her, but drove her here where she died.
That's such an effective sound effect.
It is, and the leaves falling as well.
And the way the texture pulls up on him and goes, desaturates.
Let's go to Hyrule Castle, Link. 2 exclamation marks, really? Goodbye, Great Deku Tree. Having her linger there, it's really good. Like, it's only the, I guess, body language, but it's really effective for getting across what she said about that.
Well, I think that's going to go ahead and wrap things up for this episode.
No more grammar lessons in second person. Archaic second person.
Yeah. I hope everyone enjoys. We will be back for a part 2.
Yay.
I don't know the frequency in which I'm going to release these. Probably it depends upon how quickly I edit them. But I hope everyone enjoys the silliness and the fun and the dramatic readings and the observations.
The nostalgia.
Yeah. So until next time, everyone, thank you very much for watching. Take care and goodbye.
Bye-bye.